I just shorted the AUDUSD before major news.
You what?
Am I crazy? Maybe, but if you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to show you this trade start to finish, whether it's a win or a loss on a real account. Without further ado, let's jump in. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Nick. I talk all about trading and I share videos of me trading so that you can get a realistic view of what it really looks like to be an active currency trader. Maybe you're new to this stuff. If you're not, then yay, welcome back to the channel. So take a look. We're looking at AUDUSD and I actually just took a short position at resistance here prior to the Fed news coming out today. Today it is, what day is it? Today is 6/15. That's June 15th here in the US. And the Fed meeting is coming up very soon. In fact, in the next 30 to 45 minutes. I took this a few hours ago and I'm holding this trade going into the news. Now, what is the Fed decision all about? We can look at interest rates and all that sort of stuff in a second, but let's talk about the chart, right? Everybody wants to talk about the chart. They want to talk about head and shoulders patterns, trend following, moving averages, price action, all of that, you know, liquidity grabs, smart money, all that stuff, right? But to me, what is even more important is the fundamentals behind the market. What is actually driving price of a currency pair? You know, it's pretty intuitive when you talk about stocks, when you talk about, you know, a company, is that company making money? Is that company losing money? Those are real world implications as to why the stock may go up or down, or fundamental analysis. Same thing in the currency world. The currency world is predominantly focused on interest rates and economic health. Okay. And today we have a decision from the Fed regarding interest rates. If interest rates come out at higher than expected, which is the rumor, 0.75% or 75 basis points, then the dollar is likely to get very, very strong very, very quickly. And in this case, when shorting the Aussie and buying the USD, we're betting that this thing is basically going to favor the US dollar and sell off. So that's kind of my bias. I'm expecting that it is very possible that we see a strengthening US dollar on this news. Part of the reason why that is because, of course, the high levels of inflation we are seeing in the US right now. Right now, we're seeing 8.6%. The Fed, their ideal level is 2%. There's a little bit of a difference between the number on the left and the number on the right.
You don't say. Goodness gracious, whatever shall we do?
As you can very obviously sarcastically see, 8.6% is much higher. And so when this number comes out very high, in fact, it was supposed to come down lower, but we did not see that. We saw 8.6% on the year-over-year inflation of the US. That's concerning to the Fed, and I think that it has the potential to cause us to rate hike. I think that that is in the cards for today. And so I sold AUDUSD on a pullback to levels of resistance here. So I ended up taking the short, and now where's the stop loss? What's the trade idea? Well, I am a trend follower. This thing is trending very nicely, and we pulled back to a level of resistance. I shorted on this candle right as we poked up into this area, and I'm looking for at least a move back down to the previous low before I really start to, you know, take profits or trail stops further. So what else? Well, the Aussie dollar is a strong sell for several reasons. Let's take a look at this table breakdown for a second. The commitment of traders data that we have on file tells us that the commitment of traders right here, you can see that the US dollar is the favorite of the two when it comes to institutional positioning. In terms of institutional positioning, 76% of institutional bank money is long, whereas 28.5% roughly is long on the Aussie. That's a preference towards USD, and that gives us a rating to sell the pair as we are favoring the USD, selling the Aussie. Retail sentiment is our next one. You could take a look at the retail sentiment here. Right on this chart, you can see that the crowd is 69%, nice, long on the pair, whereas only 31% are short. So I'm favoring being against the crowd when it comes to the retail crowd because we know that they tend to lose money on average. Seasonality, you can see, is this little chart down here. And in the month of June, historically speaking, the Aussie dollar tends to be negative over the last, I believe that's 15 years or so of data that we have in our system. GDP growth and inflation are favoring towards the AUD, whereas unemployment and interest rates favor the US dollar. So in this case, again, a little bit of mixed sentiment, but overall, a negative score gives us a bias to sell the pair. So when we go back to looking at this, that's why this morning I decided to take a short. Now, I do have a stop loss in place. So if I'm completely incorrect about this move and this thing breaks higher today, I will stop out and I will take a $400 loss. Here's my risk management on the trade. Now, $400 is not going to break the bank for this account. This is a much larger account. So $400 is a small portion of that account total. So that's kind of why I'm risking 400 USD on this particular trade. If it goes in my favor, like I said, we have the potential to make much more than $400. But if this thing breaks higher, we are out for $400 lost. So I have a plan to exit if I am wrong, and I have a plan to manage the trade should I be right on the news. Now, again, we're going to watch the news reaction here and see what the volatility is like. I'll actually be live streaming, so perhaps I'll show you guys a clip or something like that from that live stream. But without further ado, I'll pause the video and we'll come back once this thing has made a move. One more thing that I forgot to mention is I shared the full trade here inside of our private Discord channel. All of my trade alerts go out to members, myself, Frank, and Ivan. We share our trades so that members can see what we're doing, but more importantly, the analysis and reasoning behind the trade. If you're looking to learn along while seeing the trades that I'm taking each week, feel free to use the link down below in the description to sign up for those alerts, as well as join our chat room and so much more that you get access to. We'll be trading FOMC live, for example. We put up chat rooms and we do all sorts of fun events inside of the group. Well, guys, I can't say I'm happy with how this trade played out, but unfortunately, so here's the thing. Here's a bit of a frustration with this trade. Let me go into some details here. So check it out. We actually did get 0.75% interest rate hikes. And on the opening moments of the news releasing, we actually saw a very, very good move in my direction. In fact, here's that clip from the live stream that I mentioned from when Ivan and I spoke a little bit about it. You can see that at one point I was up some nice profit. If you have 8.6% after the Fed came out and said, we think that we're going to curb it from here, half a basis point, we think that's going to do it. And then bam, we get 8.6, a higher than expected inflation rate year over year. It's a natural response by the market to say, okay, half a basis point is not getting in front of the curve. We need more. And now today we're seeing that follow through with 75 basis points coming in from the Fed and really causing a stir here in markets. Just like you said, crazy time to be alive, crazy time. So again, it doesn't ever feel good when you take a trade and price moves in your favor, but then ultimately starts going against you and ultimately breaking higher. So let's break down kind of what happened here. So price did actually hold my level, and I don't think that my entry was bad by any means. You can kind of see where I took the short trade was right around this area, looking for a break beneath this structure here. We did ultimately get a push down in our direction on the opening news, so we were actually correct about the 75 basis point expectation. In fact, that was kind of where the market was starting to expect that. We did start to see that rumor come to fruition, but then of course, in this case, we did not get the follow through. In fact, what happened next is that during these candles, which ultimately got me stopped out, on this candle here, the reason I got stopped out too was because in the meeting portion of the Federal Reserve meeting here today, Jerome Powell basically made some, I guess, market reassuring statements, at least that in the short term caused the market to rally against me and invalidate my trade here. Generally speaking, if the Aussie dollar is rising, most of the time that's usually going in order with the stock market rising, which we saw a really strong rebound today. So I guess in my stock market account, things were good off of this, but not so much in the currency trading today. So of course, price ended up, like I said, going in my favor. Hindsight 2020, I shoulda, coulda, woulda moved my stop loss to break even at this point, but I did not. We didn't quite hit a 1-to-1 on my risk to reward before price did ultimately go against me. Is there an opportunity to re-enter? Well, possibly, and I still think that there is some pretty good opportunities to go long on the dollar, but we may have to be a bit patient here. So we did hold this area. It just seemed like the Aussie dollar caught a lot of strength today in the aftermath of what we saw on the news. So that's kind of where we're at. I do have some more opportunities looking at forward. So again, we were out for this trade for about $400 of loss, which no one wants to take a $400 loss, but it's part of the process. And when I show you guys these videos, my goal with showing you genuinely is to try and just keep it real with you. Like, there is no trader on the internet who just wins all the time. And I'm actually going through a losing streak myself right now. So if you enjoy the transparency, if you want to see more videos like this, maybe you'll see me catch a winner at some point, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see you next time. Looks like it's time for your next trading video. Check out the videos here and here for more free trading content that should help you in your trading journey. We try and keep it real here, so make sure to subscribe for more content that is down to earth, realistic Forex trading content. See you in the next video.